Hi there, here's a quick tutorial about how to be able to use YouTube and Google Slides and be able to have it much more and easier for the students to be able to play the video. And so I'm going to walk you through the steps, which is more than just adding the link and such. All right, so here we go. I got a blank slide going here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the layout of the slide a little bit to be able to, because I want to start thinking about how I'm going to lay out this the question that I'm going to do. So regarding the question, I'm going to think, or sorry, the video is I want to be able to have questions to go along with the video, which I think is a really nice a tool to be able to have, as opposed to the kids going back and forth to a different screen. If they have questions, let's say someplace else on another worksheet, or I'm a big fan of using, let's say, a hyperdoc. So if it's on a different window, this prevents them from going back and forth, or even if it's printed, so they don't have to look down. I like to have them next to each other. Now, I would say I wouldn't have the kids doing the questions directly here on the slide. This is only for them to view. So I need to think about a couple different things. Here is up at the top is where I'm going to put some directions up here, and then I'm going to put the questions themselves over here. I'm going to resize, move this over a little bit, and then I'm going to be put my video on this part over here. So first off, let me go get the video. Unless I'm going to pretend I'm doing something for the novel All Quiet on the Western Front. So I'm going to get a scene from the movie, let's say, and I want them to be able to watch this. So I went searching for All Quiet on the Western Front, and here's the scene I want. The soldiers in this foxhole. Perfect, great. So I need to copy the URL up here, go up and copy the address of YouTube. And then I'm going to go over to within Google Slides, go to Insert, and then I'm going to go down to Video. And it's going to ask you to paste in your link right there. When you paste that in, it's going to pop up down here. Then you have to click on that to highlight it and say, okay, select this YouTube video. Now it's putting the video within here. And that's the first step right there. We're going to do a couple different options. If I can notice over here, let me close that. What you may want to be able to do here is there's a feature that's relatively kind of newer here. If you go to Format, as long as I have the video selected, I could go to Format Options. Then here's a nice thing, which is two things. One, autoplay when presenting. That means as soon as the students get to the slide, it's going to play right away. Is a nice feature. And a really kind of neat one is you could decide when this video starts and stops. Let's say as I was going back over here, and I'm like, hey, I want to be able to have this part where the main character goes into this foxhole. So let's say I wanted to just start like over here at great once he goes over the top and cut to right. Perfect right there. So let's say if I wanted it at 109, I didn't want that other stuff. So then I can go back over to here. This is really nice. I could change these numbers to say start that at 109. I can trim out a little bit at the beginning. It's a really nice feature there. Okay, so next, I have this here. Now I want to be able to put some questions in here. I already have some questions that I have done on a worksheet in the past. So I'm going to copy these questions over here. I'm going to go over to, instead of that, I'm going to turn this into a bulleted list. Then I'm going to paste my questions. And there's a bunch of junk in here, so I'm just going to quickly delete this from a previous worksheet and turn this into just normal questions here so I can have a few of them. And I'll change the size a little bit later because I can see they're kind of quite big. I'll highlight them all and change the size. Let's say an 18 font. Let's see what it looks like down to about a size 14 font. We'll start resizing a little bit more. Make that a little bit smaller. Perfect, and get rid of the last ones. Beautiful. And then the last piece over here is let me give some directions, and the directions would be something like watch this YouTube. I'm going to say that, watch this video, and keep in mind these questions. And such. So basically, I got the thing done here. I could change a little bit more, and I've already done that let me show you what I've done on the next slide when I've done this and added a little bit more design to it. I'm a big fan of sort of, particularly when I'm doing video, to be able to change the background to black and flip the text to white. Try to put a little bit of elements, like just drew a little line here to separate the prompt which is, hey, keep these in mind while you answer your hyperdoc, put the questions over here and such. All right, so now it's there, but if I share this with my kids, they still are going to have to go over here and how to play the thing because it's not in the presentation mode. You're just giving it to them as a Google slide. And some of you may do that. Hey, I'll just share it with them, or even if you did it within Schoology. But there's a different way to be able to share a link, which will give it a full screen, so you don't get all of this stuff all around it. And so that's not the share button up here in the right-hand corner. No, no, no. This is gonna be something different. So what you're gonna do is here. Well, check this out. Hold on, let me move this. This is my main one here on the top. So I'm gonna go here, File, and then something some of you may haven't done before, Publish to the web down here. When I click on that, it's basically going to say, hey, listen, you can have this just be the entire full screen if I use a link. So if I click on that, it'll give me a link and I'll say, okay, copy that link. And then once that's done, now what happens when I go put this, if I give this to my kids, I share it with them, however I'm going to do it. And this is what it will look like. I'll paste this into a new window here. This is what the kids get. You can see what I mean by full screen. All of it is here together with the directions on the top, the questions on the left, and then the answer here. So now when they hit play, boom, I forgot to change this one to start at 109, but it would have jumped right there. And you can see it plays directly within there. And I really like that feature of having the questions off on the side. So the again, reminder about that, the answer is the file published to the web will give you that full screen look. Hope that works for you, and let me know if you have any questions.